As well as our home farm fields back across the road where we do most of our filming, we have two other fields, this being one of them. We call them the winter fields because this is where we grow our winter vegetables. They're divided up into 3 plots. Each plot has 40 beds and can grow up to 10,000 to 15,000 plants in each plot. And we have a 3-year rotation, so we grow greens 1 year, we grow roots the 2nd year, and we grow grass and clover with chicory and various other herbs in the 3rd year, which gives the ground a rest. This field here that I'm standing in is this year our greens field. So behind me we'll now take a walk across and look at the various greens that we're going to grow from harvesting from September right through to next Easter. So here we have black kale, otherwise known as cavallonero, and we have purple sprouting broccoli. This is the late variety of purple sprouting broccoli, which will come after Christmas, usually around February, March and April. We have a later one further on, an earlier one further on, which will come before Christmas. We have the green curly kale, and we have the red cabbage, red pointed cabbage, 2 beds of that, 2 beds of green pointed cabbage. This year, because of the extreme heat, we're not getting the succession it looks like. I think it's all going to come in together because it's all growing together. More green kale here, and then over here we have the winter savoys, and then we have the very last beds are kohlrabi and swede. Then across over there, we won't go over there, but across over there we've got cauliflowers, romanesco, more red and green pointed cabbage, and some early Savoy cabbage and some January King cabbage. All for your boxes ranging from September through to next Easter. This is the second of our winter vegetable fields where we grow potatoes and other roots like carrots and parsnips and beetroot and of course the leeks as well. We divide this field in 2. So we have, as I said in the previous field, there are 40 beds there for greens, which are all mostly of the cabbage family. And then we have 40 beds here, which are our roots. And we then have 40 beds at the end, which is where we've sown grass and clover to try and replenish the organic matter in the soil. We're giving the soil a rest to allow the earthworm populations to build up, to allow the fauna and flora within the soil to recover and restructure itself, so that when we go to plough it next year, we add a small amount of compost and away we go again. So once every 3 years we're visiting these different sites. With 2 sites being productive. So it's the greens and it's the roots. Behind me here is the potato crop, which is doing very well at the moment. They're very nearly ready to harvest, which is early for the variety that I'm harvesting here. It's called Alouette. It's a red-skinned one, and so we'll be harvesting probably in about 10 days, 2 weeks. We'll start harvesting here, and that'll keep us going with the Alouette variety, which is the first half of this. Will keep us going till the end of September, and the second half will keep us going till Christmas. After Christmas, then there's another organic farmer up near Kilray, who has a cold store, and so I don't have a cold store, so it makes sense to buy my potatoes in from him. But that's guaranteeing, of course, that they're local, which is great. Carrots are doing well, look at that. Yeah, this variety is a different variety and it's lower and it's not quite as advanced. It's only starting to flower now. Yeah, they're quite weedy, these actually. There's going to be a bit more work in these than I thought. But I know it'll be easy. It's not that big. It's just slightly more weed on this section than there was on that because we didn't roll it before putting the plastic down, you know. So behind me then are our leeks. We have 12,000 leeks here. There's 2 different varieties. One on this side is an earlier variety which will keep us in leeks from September right through to Christmas. And then on this side, they're a later variety and that will keep us from Christmas right through till Easter again. And then the third section of 40 beds is, as I said, in grass and clover. This is it here. So if we come in a bit closer here to the ground, we'll be able to see that there are grasses here. There are two different types of grass. We've got Timothy and we've got cocksfoot, and then on top of that we've got clovers. There's the clovers coming through there, and we have a white clover and a red clover, and then we also have the chicory, and that's the chicory. There's lots of chicory here, and these chicory, we won't actually let them grow this tall, simply because we would need to keep the grass down a little bit. But if we had let them grow that tall, they would produce roots this long. So we're only going to get roots about that long as a consequence. And they will send roots down into the ground, which then brings very big roots, go very, very deep, which then bring minerals back up to the surface. And then when we ploughed over, those minerals are available for the next crop. And the clover fixes nitrogen, and the grass then remains alive for the whole winter, and it then holds on to all the nutrients there. It doesn't allow the rain wash all the nutrients we're building up here, and it protects the earthworms, and it protects the soil, flora and fauna.